Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney for the Nintendo DS. I'm SamuraiT-X and I'm Sword Snake. And the last time we left off, we did summon Miss Lana Skye, Chief Prosecutor, to the stand. And well, her testimony did lead to contradiction after contradiction. And we found out the fact that Chief Gant got to the crime scene before Lana Skye. And well, she gave a testimony and also said that she has evidence. And she gave it to us, so we're going to go look for that evidence, no less. And the only thing I remember getting is this book from Detective Gumshoe. So we're going to check this book of evidence law. Not like this, but we're going to turn the book this way and examine it. Aha! What's that? It's a photograph. Hey, there's a picture here. Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this. That's because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I rearranged the scene. Thanks for the picture. Mr. Wright! That piece cut out from the vest, could that be the cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe? This is a flashback. Alright. That cloth, it had fingerprints on it. Whoever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer. What? But those fingerprints, they're yours, Emma! Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So as long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out this real murderer. Smack. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Alright, let's get this cross-examination on the road. Let's go. I'm gonna press on this statement, of course. What the? Who's that? Oh god, it's you. Come now, Archie. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gant? What now, you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put a word or two in my defense. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined testimony. That means you forfeited your right to make any statements of any sort. Huh? This must be the risk the judge was talking about. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your neck. So what? You think I'm worried? Huh? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't, but someone does. Someone? So then, what's your excuse? Righto? Huh? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over the marshal, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? No. If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now, and if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. What do I do now? I'd better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? No, I don't think we should because of the fact that, well, you know, we can't. I don't think we can at this very moment in time, so let's say no. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point of time. What? You lie! Chief Gant. You opened my safe, and you know what you took was inside? The conclusive evidence! I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? Can't you figure it out? Take a look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like part of it's been cut off for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? What? That means you, Chief of Police, concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Oh dear. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Wright-O. Huh? Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean you admit to it? I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. Excuse me, I'll be right back. And I'm back, folks. Sorry about that. Had to take a phone call. I was the first person to arrive at this crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So you really were manipulating her? I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene she would ask me for my aid. So you assisted Miss Sky. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When we arranged the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. I did this before Lana arrived at the scene. 2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't able to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? Who do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make a police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hit the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too? Ho 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 ho! Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept 1 more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Wright-O, cough it up already. I know you have it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Gant, that you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe? Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being the chief and all. but it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present.
Foolish move, Righto. You should have shown it before it was too late. It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. We're going to show the evidence now. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Smack.
Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who really murdered Prosecutor Marshall. The cloth.
Let me verify this once more. Yes, we had to present the cloth because, well, that was all we could do at this very moment in time. On the day of the crime, you personally cut this piece of the victim's vest.
Oh, yes.
At last you finally brought it out into the open.
There's a handprint on this piece of cloth.
Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent for the labs to analysis. This handprint on the lever, there must have been some strong impact for it to be left so clearly.
You mean?
It could have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Righto had all the time to present this evidence. Yet he was so reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that? Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Smack. Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they?
Very well. I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person whose these fingerprints belong to are... Well, they only belong to Emma Skye because we've already tested it.
Emma? Emma Skye?
What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. But why? Why didn't you tell me? Oh boy.
Oh, you're really something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along.
And you still try to pin the murder on me?
So it's true. Tragic, but true.
I do apologize that I keep changing Chief Gant's voice from nice and calm to intimidating. You know, because well, he has two personalities. When he's holding his little item on his around his shirt, like it makes him look so menacing. So that's why I do it. I say that all the time, but I just like reminding you just in case.
This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death.
How could you? You monster!
Miss Skye.
You knew whose fingerprints were on those all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Miss Skye, it's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. Ha! But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to your pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy! What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer. Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that?
Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gat, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who's the real murderers. Who killed Neil Marshall, you asked? It was Emma Skye, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction.
What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about?
I'm talking about a contradiction, one that proves who the real killer is. Smack, smack, smack. But Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth, what could it possibly contradict?
Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here.
Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth.
And we are going to present that in the next video. So when we come back, folks, we will play more Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Until then, thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys next time.